Halloween and the Dark Arts, bonus episode, The Truth About Witches. Welcome back to Pete's World of Poisonous Plants, where myths crumble and the darker truths of history come to light. We all know the image of the witch, broomstick, black cat, cackling laughter under the full moon. But here's the reality. There were no witches, not really. There were women who understood plants. In villages across medieval Europe, they were the healers, the midwives, the wise women who knew that willow bark eased pain, that foxglove steadied the heart, and that henbane could bring sleep. Knowledge passed down through generations, simple, practical, and powerful. But knowledge is dangerous, because the same plants that cured could also kill. The same woman who healed a fever might, in the eyes of her neighbor, be blamed for a sudden death. Was it a cure that failed, or a curse that succeeded? In a world dominated by men, priests, landlords, and rulers, women with power were seen as a threat. They could work outside the church. They could command respect in their village. And so they became targets. The church branded their remedies as pagan. The Malleus Maleficarum, the so-called hammer of witches, declared women more corruptible, more likely to serve the devil. And with that, suspicion became accusation. Trials followed, cruel and absurd. A woman might be pricked with needles to search for the devil's mark. She might be thrown into water. If she floated, she was guilty. If she drowned, she was innocent, but dead all the same. In parts of Europe, tens of thousands were executed. Burned, hanged, drowned, not for sorcery, but for knowledge. Yes, a few may have used poisons with malice, but the majority tried to use their plants for good, to heal, to protect, to guide. They were never witches. They were simply women who understood the natural world better than those who feared it. And perhaps that was the real crime. Because in the end, witchcraft was not about the devil. It was about fear, fear of women, fear of knowledge, fear of power outside the grasp of the church and the state. So this Halloween, when you picture the witch flying through the night sky, remember the darker truth. She was more likely a healer, with plants in her garden and enemies at her door. If you've enjoyed this bonus episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more in Pete's World of Poisonous Plants. Where myth meets toxin and history is darker than you think.